Now, Japan's birth rate has hit a record low, marking a 5% decline from the previous year. This extends a 9-year streak of falling births, according to Japan's health ministry. Meanwhile, deaths reached a record high, 1.62 million, causing the country's largest ever annual population decline. The demographic crisis is putting pressure on Japan's economy and welfare system. The country already carries the highest public debt among developed nations, with debt projected at 232.7% of the GDP this year, according to the IMF. A shrinking workforce means lower tax revenue, creating a growing burden on government finances. Japan's labor shortage is worsening since the working-age population peaked in 1995. The unemployment rate has remained under 3% for nearly 4 years, one of the lowest among OECD nations. However, the workforce gap is widening. By 2040, Japan is expected to face an 11 million worker shortfall. In 2024 alone, 342 Japanese companies went bankrupt due to labor shortages. That's the highest on record. With the rapidly aging population, Japan's social security spending is soaring. For the fiscal year starting in April, the government has allocated $253 billion for social security. That's a 20% increase over the past decade. The pension system is under growing strain. Over the past 2 decades, the number of contributors has dropped by 3 million, while the number of recipients has risen by nearly 40%. Japan's declining birth rate is part of a broader global trend. South Korea's fertility rate edged up for the first time in 9 years, but at 0.75 children per woman, it remains well below the replacement level. Almost all countries in the world are witnessing either a slowdown or a negative birth rate. Governments worldwide are testing incentives to reverse falling fertility rates. Hungary has introduced tax breaks for mothers, an initiative praised by Elon Musk as a great policy. South Korea spent billions on pro-birth policies, including cash handouts and state-sponsored dating programs. And these efforts have led to a slight increase in South Korea's birth rate in 2024, the first since 2015. With the global fertility rate at 2.3 children per woman, nearly half of what it was in the 1950s, economic risks are mounting. Fewer workers mean slower consumption, labor shortages, and stagnating GDP growth. Experts warn that unchecked population decline could lead to an empty planet scenario where economic progress and living standards stagnate as societies shrink. Whether financial incentives like tax breaks can reverse this trend, that remains an open question. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.